There's something new I want to try out that people aren't really fans of doing, but it's just using simple language, relational language, to explain phenomenon. Because I'm kind of wanting to almost experiment with an idea of, if as human beings, anything that exists in the cosmos, but we're filtering this universal field of consciousness, the thing from which everything has risen from. Well, don't you feel like, so, spanda is Sanskrit for pulsation or vibration. So your consciousness, it has, I don't know, probably some complex geometry, but everything is kind of pulsating from within. And then someone gives you like a deep cosmic truth. It has to be a deep cosmic truth. But when that thing pulsates with you, you and that thing kind of really resonate. So I'm just so curious if anyone's even had this experience of being able to bypass someone's logic or the need to really prove something. If there are truths embedded within this field and we come from it, in theory, could you just tell somebody something and they would just understand? You wouldn't have to, I mean, unless the person is really like disconnected from the server being the cosmos. But if they're just really, really disconnected, then it'll be difficult, of course. But I just feel like, I don't know, recently I've run into unexpected people. Like their backgrounds are so diametrically opposed from the kind of individual that I am. But I'll tell them something that's like from my understanding of what I study, and it hits, like they pause and they really listen. I wonder if this is because, man, we really hate on people too much. Like we don't believe in their ability to understand. I know that there's definitely some people it's like, what are you gonna do? But for the most part, people typically in the spiritual community complain a lot about how it's so difficult to connect with somebody because they're all so stupid. They don't want to talk about things that are deep. They want to engage in small talk. But I'm like, I don't know. That's part of the evolution of a spiritual journey, that everything is just that deep. Even small talk. I've never resonated with that. Like when someone's like, oh, I don't do small talk. I love small talk. You mean to tell me that like your value of something or connecting with something is just based on how intense of a topic it is? Don't the other little things deserve your depth and love too? If someone's really talking about the weather, like I love the weather. Weather is awesome. Rain, lightning, snow, rainbows. There's a lot to be excited about. And I mean, like, there's so much involved, like all these like earth science principles, like photons, um, I don't know, just how energy transfers, like you can really just get into it and have a fun time. And not even to intentionally make it deep, but like you can just be in the presence of what depth is everywhere. You don't have to look for it in a certain, once again, it all boils down to everything having a look. Man, the thing is, when you use relational language, people's like, I kind of see it as like, pew, like people kind of like just turn on and they're like wanting to engage. You'd be so surprised. Like, this is why, I don't know, I don't always see it as a compliment when people are like, to me, like, it's always in an Uber ride. They'll be like, I like conversations like this. All these other people that talk about dumb things and blah, blah, blah. Like, but and it's almost a compliment. I'm like, oh, thank you. Because to me, it feels like, is my worth and value based on how much you think I can make you feel smart if I talk a certain way? Like, I like to be really, really goofy and like all that kind of stuff too. But man, I mean, you would think, in the space where it's supposed to be like judgment free, you might end up getting the most judgment on what it looks like. But regardless of whether you believe in anything or not, in any of the phenomena that goes on in the cosmic realm, spiritual thinking, all that, doesn't change the fact that it's always taking place. And maybe that is a sign of the deepest evolution, not how much you think you're better than everyone else, but how much you can also perceive God consciousness wherever you are at. Like, I don't know. I mean, I have to work on my relationship with creation because I feel like it diverts my attention from like sitting down and being one with the cosmos. But I genuinely enjoy random side quests. I view my life as a research lab. And I think everyone can be fascinating, even my enemies, because there's a mindset shift that takes place. You go from somebody feeling like feeling like everybody's a threat to everyone feeling like they have a gift to offer you. Now, of course, I'm not talking about extreme situations like the one that comes to mind is being tortured by the government. Like, yeah, you can't really just like be like, haha, everything is so beautiful. It's still so beautiful. Like, you can't do that in that scenario. I'm just talking about for your regular interactions, because regular interactions that happen day to day, that's where the magic is taking place. I think we're always waiting for some really big moment out in the ether, out in a singular point of space time to really see spirituality in action, but it's always happening. It's always happening. And also in that realm, for presence of mind, people think of like austere practices of meditation. It doesn't have to be that either, because if you think about it, sadhana, which is Sanskrit for spiritual practice, has meditation, breathwork, yoga. All of that is to align you with the cosmos, to bring you into presence and have that expanded sense of consciousness. Your life eventually becomes that sadhana. The way you breathe is a lot more healthy and correct and regulated. And even like your movement throughout the day, there's some stretching, some flexibility, some alignment with the geometries and the shapes you go into, right? And life and your work will feel meditative. But simplicity is really where it's at. Even the cosmos, like, if something is too complex, if anyone's ever done software engineering interviews, like you study like on lead code, right? And one of the things my friends would always tell me in college was if the answer feels too complex, it's probably wrong. The answers are usually simple. I think we just like to make things complex. It's like for who? To show off for what? That's why I feel like it doesn't really matter to win awards. I've never felt this way, also because I didn't really win many growing up. I'm like, this doesn't matter. But yeah, like awards are other people's ability to see the value that you bring. And while I think it's great, like when people get recognition for something, like when someone wins an award, you shouldn't be like, oh, that doesn't matter. Like, of course it matters. That's awesome. They achieved something. But at the same time, does that mean everybody else who didn't get the award all of a sudden isn't able to, like, we really gotta, I really want us all to take our power back. I think we can all be people who can do deep academic research. I think we can all uh, connect and find ways to bring value to the world. Like, recognition shouldn't come at the cost of people's self-belief. So anyway, there wasn't really any point to this besides to say, like, the mindset of being spiritual is really important. It's one that is authentic, not necessarily all about love and light, but just also seeing that like darkness is a part of it too, and you're not trying to necessarily avoid anything. I don't know how I feel about this man named Sadhguru, but he had a book called Death. And there's this one quote in there I really liked, which was, if you try to avoid certain experiences, you're basically trying to avoid life, because life is so full of different experiences. So anyway, if you're trying to avoid life, you're inviting death, which is like, if death is the one thing that is absolutely guaranteed for every being that's alive, then I think that's like the form of structure and stability. Maybe we can talk about death. If somebody has concerns, oh man, yeah, if people have nihilistic concerns or existential concerns about death, we can talk about that, because I would love to share ways I've kind of gotten over a lot of really, really terrifying spirals I've had for years, without a way of bringing in toxic positivity. Okay, this is getting very long. Lovely to talk to you people. See you soon.